Welcome to the Blue City, Chefchaouen. We're now in Northern Morocco. This was actually built in the 15th century. When the Inquisition happened in Spain, half of the Turkish Moors came to Rabat and half came here, and they built this wonderful blue city. And we're gonna explore all the little alleys and tiles and nooks and crannies to show you why you need to come up here to Northern Morocco. So why the great blue color? I've been wondering that for the last couple days. There's three reasons. One is the scientific. They say the blue actually keeps away mosquitoes. The second is historical. They say because the first people that came with them were builders that were Jewish, and the Jewish religion loves blue as part of their culture. The third reason is the one that I like, and it's spiritual. They say that the people here in the Blue City are very happy optimists. And so the blue, when you wake up, makes you happy and smile. So therefore, blue. You choose why it's blue. I like because it makes you happy. So we've made it to Ras Shamam, and that means the head of the water. This is a main structure here in the Blue City. People come and gather for the summer, but this is the river that comes straight from the mountain. It flows all year long, and this is one of the places they come to wash clothes. It's clean water. It is just spiritual for the people here in the Blue City. Fun fact, I didn't know why they kept saying I'm staying at Riyadh's. Well, what it is Riyadh is a garden. And so they'll have these wonderful gardens, and they'll have the house or the structure or the hotel around it. And that's why they call it Riyadh. So you're actually not staying at the building, you're staying at the garden. Well, if you don't have a Riyadh, you're staying at a dar. So don't pronounce that right, but you know, that's me. Anyway, but that's why when you're in Morocco, you stay at Riyadh's and not hotels. Look at this color. I am in love with this city. This is the main square of the Kasbah. As you see, there's a lot of tourist restaurants down here that you can enjoy, eat some traditional food. They actually even have chicken tacos over there to make sure that all the foreigners fill in. And then this is the original fortress that was the main center when the city was built. And then they expanded from here up the hill. This is the Kasbah, or fortress of Chefchaouen that's here. It was built in 1471. And you actually go inside and tour it where the garden is, like the Riyadh. But it's kind of a touristy thing. I actually enjoyed doing the streets of Chefchaouen a lot better. So don't spend your time in here, go in there and enjoy the culture of this city. Continuing our trek north in Morocco, and we've now gotten to Volubilis. And this is intriguing because it's a Roman ruins. It was built in 40 AD. Got that? 40 AD. There was actually a whole civilization here, and the Roman emperor kind of pulled a little trick. He got the king of here to come to where Rome was, and they killed him there. And then he came and took over the land because it was very, very fertile, and they wanted the area. It's named Volubilis, which is kind of interesting because there's a whole river that runs down here that Vuli actually means oleander, and it's loaded with oleander plants. So this was actually a huge civilization with temples and houses, and we only see an itty bitty bit of what was here at the time here in Morocco of the Romans. Okay, you have to use your imagination because these are ruins. But right here are actually the stairs, and here's walls. This was a whole row of houses. They were modest houses for the people that probably were the architects and constructions and things of the city. But if you look way in the back where there's columns, that was the rich people. And there's actually a whole arch that's still in place. There were all the rich people of Volubilis. They're here. So we're in the divided areas of the modest. So this is the House of It was actually a rather wealthy house, Look at this archway that's here. So for things like this back in, 50 AD, this was a big deal to be able to build structures. You had to have money for that. So these were columns and small rooms. This is now over here in the rich part of the city. All you can see is all these columns and archways and all these many roomed houses. The more rooms, the more elaborate. This was the wealthy city, and this city held about 22,000 people in it, so it was not a small place. And we still have the mosaics on the floor. Look at those itty-bitty tiles. You can see why this was considered the capital of Northern Africa when the Romans were here. This would have been a very wealthy house. You can tell by the archways and the number of rooms, and look at these columns that are all around. This would have been a pool of water, because you have to remember that water is the blood of life in this culture. These are the archways of the basilica. Look at this structure. I love how when I come to places like this, I can see history that I only read about in books. This was 50 AD. This was when Christ would have been 50. And here we are in what's left of a truly living city. This is an Arch of Triumph that was built to say thank you to the emperor that made the people here in Northern Africa actually citizens of Rome versus slaves of Rome. Look at this structure. Now, one thing you can note is that, see the detail of these stones? The more detailed and flat the stones are, the more this building was important to them, because they worked very hard to make them exactly precise. Welcome to Fez. This was actually the oldest capital city in Morocco, and it's like the center of when we come travel and visit Northern Morocco. It was actually built in 3 pieces. Where I am now is the castle, and it was part of the old part of the city. Then we have the new part of the city that was built 1400s, and then you have the modern that was built by the French when they were here in 1910 to 1960s. So this is the gorgeous part of Fez at the palace. Now, one thing about this palace is that what we're seeing is the new gate that was built by Hassan II. The original gate is on the other side and it's behind, but we don't actually get to that. We also don't get to go in to see the 99 acres that is inside of this, and this is the largest palace area in all of Morocco. Let's talk about all these great tiles we keep seeing here in Morocco. These are hand cut in the factories. This is the only place in the world that makes them like this. And the reason that we have all the geometric shapes is that in the Muslim religion, they're not allowed to show people's faces and things. So instead they do the colors of nature and these intricate designs on all of their structures. That's why this stuff is so beautiful. We're wandering around right now the Medina of Fez. Look how tight this is. If it wasn't for the fact that I had an amazing local guide, there's absolutely no way I'd be able to find myself wandering around. It's so easy to get completely lost in here. This is cool, but also a little overwhelming. I have not tried it, but I hear if you don't know what you're doing and not with a good person, Google Maps is the only way you get in and out. Or you follow the locals, because the locals are going to be able to find their way out, so you follow them. Like I said before, you want to know how to get in or out? Follow the locals. The locals know the way. Look at all the beauty around me. This is one of the things that Morocco is known for, is all of their tile work, from their painting on their pottery to their mosaics. I can tell you, after touring through here, there's none better like this in the world. You've got to come here and see all this in person and feel and touch and see how the heritage that's here. This is one of those cool things I am glad I'm doing here in Morocco today. I actually, from every one of my trips, I bring back a Christmas ornament for my Christmas tree. So now my Christmas tree, when you look at it from afar, looks really ugly because it's full of all these things. But every one of them, as I pull them out, is a story and a history and a trip. Another cool industry that they've got here in Fez is the dyeing of the wool. So what they do is, I'm going to show you in a minute, this whole street behind me that's absolutely full of color dyed wool. But behind me is the public spring. So each one of these stalls comes here and rinses the things they've dyed, the garments and things. This is the water. They've been doing it here for hundreds of years. And this place is just mesmerizing with all of these wools and dyes and things. As a knitter, I am in heaven.
Take a seat, take your time.
Hello, hello.
This is low for making blankets.
Wonderful.
Yes.
You make blankets?
Yes, this is low man-made. We make blankets. Women, they work at home in your chicken room. When you sit up there, this is low, we make carpets. Or by hand, we won't do that. Yeah, we work with shuttle.
That is neat.
We have two people down, two people. They are open. Then we shuttle, maybe around. See from the other side. But when you change this wood together, you change the wood in the middle. And you close it. All by hand. Women made is completely different with more detail.
That is really neat. Oh, I love the tree.
Yeah, blanket like this.
We're now in Safaran Square, and in the Fez, this is actually the area where the metalsmiths work. They're working in copper, which is the yellow. They're working in the gold color. They're working in silvers. They're hand beating the metal into all the shapes that we see. These are actually gorgeous traditional ways that they're keeping their heritage with the metalworks. They've turned it yellow, and now the sun will dry it. Look at these guys throwing these around like they're nothing. These are hides. There's dozens, and they throw them around like they're sheet. Even the young ones are learning their family's heritage. 1,100 years, these men and their forefathers have been dying. Here they are, they're actually stretching it and making it soft, and then it makes, this is why the leather ends up feeling like butter, is what he's doing here. He is just stretching it and cleaning the last. Look how hard that work is. Thank you. We spent all our money. Time to go home.
You'll be able to cook in Moroccan tagine.
Okay.
And then we're doing dessert. Dessert is chosen by Chefchaouen, and she gets inspired by the market, she says.
There you go.
Okay.
That is wonderful.
So, are we ready?
Yes. How do we work?
We're gonna wash our hands traditional Moroccan way. We're gonna wear our aprons, our fezzes, and then we're good to go. Okay? This way, chef. Let's do a little bit of water. Some soap.
Squishy, squishy.
So when guests come over to a Moroccan house, instead of them going to a sink and wash their hands, you would bring all of this while they're sitting, and then you will just help them wash their hands.
A, B, C, D, F,
Now let's
G.
do the happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lupta. Lupta?
Lupna.
Lupna. Almost.
Not
Happy
bad.
birthday to you.
I'm so proud of you.
Doing things like I am right now at the Riyadh Hali Amani is what makes coming to countries like Morocco just so much more impressive. So down there, we're actually cooking the tangine. We've done an appetizer that is tomato and eggplant. I've got to do it with a local chef here, and I've got to meet a really neat lady named Lubna, who is actually telling me all about the culture in this area. This is one of those places that not only should you come stay, but you actually could enjoy the experience even if you're not staying here. I love when I travel to do things like this because this is what makes it be an experience and not just a tour. This is the type of thing that makes it be a life changer because I make friends who I'll stay in contact with a very long time versus somebody that's just wandering through as a stranger. This is what makes my travel so special to me.
It's yummy.
It is extremely good. I know that this is just, it looks simple when you did it, but we did a really good job. So we've made it now to Ifram, which is the Swiss Alps of Morocco. It's cold here. There's frost on the ground, and they actually get snow. We're now actually over 5,000 feet above sea level. This is the famous French lion, and I'm telling you, it's cold up here. Who would imagine? Look at my breath. Watch this. In Morocco. Look at this shock here in Morocco. This is Mishlifen. Sounds like a German name, huh? This is where you stop because it gets snow. This area actually gets so bad sometimes that the road gets blocked off. Can you believe this? Sledding on ice and snow here in Morocco. Okay, granted it's now an ice pit, which means you're basically asking to fall on your backside, but look at this fun you can have. I am so shocked it's even here. This just shows that Morocco is a country of surprises. We've seen the ocean, we're gonna see the desert. We've seen gorgeous civilizations with all the tiles, and now we have snow and ice. Never expected this here in Morocco. This is wild. Look, you actually can play with these living gorgeous horses. These are Berber horses that are made for this environment, and this is Jamil, and isn't he pretty? If you want to ride him, you can take a ride through the snow on their white horse. So it's time for us to change environments. We're leaving behind the blue tiles and beauty of Northern Morocco, and we're heading out to the Sahara sand dunes where everything is about purpose and sandstorms and all exciting. We're here in Northern Morocco. Once a lifetime experiences probably happen out in the Sahara, it's a guarantee. So let's continue on with our next adventure to the Sahara Desert.